Hello and welcome back to English class. In today's video we're going to be looking at CPE Part 3, Use of English. In this part of the test you will be asked to read a text. Now the text has 8 gaps in the text and you have to look at 8 different words and change them based on what is required, whether it be an adjective, an adverb, a noun. And you're actually tested on 3 main categories of changes. Category number 1 is called affixation. So does the word that you need to change require a prefix or a suffix? Or both? The second category is compound words. So joining 2 words together to make one complete word. And then the third category or change you might have to make is a grammatical change. So, unlike lower level examinations, in proficiency there are no limits to the amount of changes that you might have to make to a word. So you may have to put a prefix and a suffix, and it may have to be in the negative form, okay? So let's take the noun floor. What would the adjective be? Flawless. Let's take the noun effect. What would the negative adverb be? Ineffectively. Let's take the adjective definite. What would the negative adverb be? Indefinitely. Let's take the verb act. What would the noun be? Interaction. Let's take the verb apply. What would the plural noun be? Applicants. Let's take the adjective deep. What would the verb be? Deepened. Okay, now there are, of course, different options within each one. So there may be 2 adjectives or 3 nouns that you could use, okay, depending on whether it's negative or if it's a person or if it's a thing. Okay, so bear that in mind. So let's have a go with some example sentences. We have the word here in capital and in bold, curriculum. The word that we need in the sentence is, there are a number of extracurricular activities now being offered at the school. So as you can see here, we've added the prefix extra and we've changed the end of the word, curricula or curricula. Another example, people have always enjoyed the effects of sea air. We have the word benefit. Here we need to change the noun benefit or the verb to an adjective, which would be, people have always enjoyed the beneficial effects of sea air. So here you can see we take benefit, we take off the T and add a C, beneficial. Another example, Tony is a really person. We have the word opinion. What kind of word is opinion? It is a noun. What do we have to change it to? Well, here we would have to change it to an adjective, okay, because we have person after the gap. So what kind of person is related to an opinion? This would be an opinionated person, somebody who really likes to give their opinion. And one more example. The animal really fascinates my young daughter. We have the word king. Okay, so here we have to add a suffix to the word king, which is a noun, okay? This word has to be transformed into kingdom, okay? Just like you would transform free into freedom, or martyr into martyrdom, etc., etc. Okay, another thing, guys, is compound words. Let's have a look at some compound words that we will try to form. We have the sentence, the of the meeting was rather inconclusive. We have the word come. So here we have to add another word to come. Can you think what it is? Outcome. Okay, the outcome of the meeting. What happened after the meeting ended? The outcome. Another example. His brother had a second-hand car which was barely, we have the word rode here. Now let's make this into a compound word. How would we do that? So we have the adjective barely. So judging by the second-hand car, we should know that it's not a top of the range car. Therefore, maybe it's not really suitable for the roads. Okay, it might not be fit to drive for the roads. So therefore we could say it's not very, or it's barely roadworthy. Okay, roadworthy. Imagine a person who you can trust a lot. That person would be a trustworthy person. Very good. So how do you prepare for this part of the test? Well, it is recommended that you take a table or you do some exercises like this and take each word that is in capital, in bolds, and you try and form it. Okay, try and change the word from a noun or a verb into an adverb or into an adjective. Not every word will have each column filled. Okay, there might not be an adverb for a word, but it's good to try and then check your answers after you finish. Some advice for this part of the exam would also be reading through the text carefully and thoroughly, and then decide which form of the word needs to be used. Be careful, as you will need to use a negative prefix or another form of prefix at least once. Check to see if a noun needs to be plural. Lots of students make the mistake of thinking, hey, I've got the noun from this word, but then they didn't read beforehand that a plural noun was required. Okay, so make sure you read through the sentence again. Okay, there is or there are. Sometimes we can trip up on that one. All the words must be spelled correctly. Of course, you could have British spelling or American spelling, but make sure you are spelling each word correctly and in capital letters on your answer sheet. So, without further ado, let's have a look at an example text, and you can have a go at doing it yourself with about 5 to 8 minutes. So time yourself, and then we will go through the answers. So, as you can see here, we have a text about wind farms. Now, the first answer is given for us. We've changed globe to global. Our first gap, we have to transform the word virtue. Here, the answer would be, they are clean, green, and therefore virtuous. So we've changed virtue, the noun, into an adjective. The next one, we have the word side. There is a downside to wind turbines. Now here you would have to read on a little bit more to understand the idea. They are enormous and dominate the landscape. They make a noise that condemns people to etc, etc. So it's not a very nice thing that they are doing to the people or the community. They are making this horrible noise. So therefore, the word would be downside. It's actually a compound word, okay? The next word we have is sleep. They make a noise that condemns people to sleepless nights. What kind of nights are they? Sleepless. We've added a suffix to the word. The next word is signify. But all these drawbacks pale into insignificance, we are told, compared to the great benefits that will result from this renewable energy source. We've changed the word signify, which is what kind of word? A verb, into a noun. However, it's very important to note that we've also added the prefix in. Why? Because it is in its negative form. Okay, so here is a prime example, guys, of when we've added or we've used this affixation, both a prefix and a suffix to the word. The next word is necessary. Turbines generate it only when the wind blows, not necessarily when demand is high. So we've changed the adjective necessary to the adverb necessarily, okay? Just be conscious of the change from the letter Y to the letter I. And then you add, of course, L-L-Y, double L-Y. The next word is emit. This word would be emissions. Okay, I'm going to emphasize on the S here, emissions. Why? Because this is in the plural form, okay, from the verb to emit. We use the word emissions in English when we talk about something that is emitted generally from a vehicle or from a power plant or something like that, okay, which affects the atmosphere. The next word is add. So this word would be additionally. Okay, so we've changed add, which is the verb to add, to an adverb. And lastly, we have the word disaster. The environmental pollution caused by the extraction of a metal crucial to their construction is potentially disastrous. Okay, so we've changed disaster, which is a noun, to an adjective. Okay, and just be wary of the spelling change. Okay, disaster, the er is taken off if you like, or the e is taken away, and it's now disastrous. O-U-S. Okay, guys, that is all from today in English class. Just remember, if you want to really practice for this part, get this word formation table and start taking these key words that you have in capital letters in bold on your sheet and get down to work. So, I hope you liked the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.